All right. So I was very kindly gifted a review copy of Tavern Talk. And while I'm a little late to the party due to some work circumstances, I just want to say thank you and congratulations to Tavern Talk and the publishers and developers that have worked on this game. The game is currently available, and you can pick it up on Steam and likely also some other locations, which I will put in the video description. I would like to go through and play the game for a YouTube series. So I expect that we'll be putting up an episode whenever I can get the time to record these. And I would like to do about an hour to an hour and 30 minutes episodes, just going through the story. And then at the end of the episode, we're going to talk about theories about what's going on in this game. Because based on my experience with the demo, there's a little mystery about this quaint, cozy tavern. And let's find out what that is. I'm making a new save. I had one to check that it worked.
Once upon a time in a world far, far away. In a realm ruled by dragons and magic. Well, actually, it was this land specifically.
That's a lot of
Not
land.
that far away. Let me start over. Once upon a time, somewhere in Gaia. Not that far away.
So, good directions. Somewhere on this map.
My tavern.
Ooh, my tavern.
A place
I'm
for
gainfully
anyone
employed.
looking for an adventure.
Let's go.
Or a quick refreshment.
What?
A place
Why does the door have an
open to
eyeball on it?
everybody. Even jackdaws, I suppose. But I'm not just your typical innkeeper. My drinks are infused with magic to aid ambitious adventurers on their quests. To make sure they always return victorious. Big
To make
shoes to
sure
fill, I
they
know.
always return victorious. I have to
Then
make sure
again,
I can get the accent right.
What's the worst
Hopefully.
that could happen?
Hiya, Innkeep. How's it going? All fine and dandy? Can't complain. How about you, Fable? All fine and dandy? Yes, all fine and dandy. I had such an exciting day. Really, really exciting. Oh, did you go on an adventure? Even better. I took a walk around the grove, and then I replanted a mushroom that had fallen over. Then I patiently waited for it to turn into a mushroom monster. Or a mushroom mimic. Maybe a gnome. Ah. Aha, and did it? No, but I got to take another walk around the grove. And how was it? Oh, great. I got to see the same stones, the same trees. The same amaranthine hydra guarding the entrance to Avalon. The same moss. I even got to watch the water asters. They didn't really need it, but I even got to water the asters. They didn't really need it, but I was there, so... sounds very exciting. Oh, who am I kidding? My life is as exciting as a roast nut. Well, nuts are healthy. Very thrilling in sauces or as a snack. There are various types of nuts. Walnuts, peanuts, hazelnuts. I'm allergic. Oh. I didn't know that. Oh, no worries. I mean, I never told you. And hey, at least something would happen if I ate a nut. It's not something very fun, but anaphylactic shock and all that. Does that count as an adventure? No, I think that counts as a mistake. So, what you're saying is that you're missing some spice? Oh, no. I have a very sensitive stomach. I don't think chilies would help me very much. Though, I'm very good at growing phoenix chilies. I was talking about the spice in your life. Is that a reference? Spice up your life, do. Oh, that's what you meant. Well, yes, exactly, that's it. There's no chili flakes, no garlic, no dragons. Just, a lot of salt. I'm like a bland soup. Oh no. So a classic case of boredom, I see. Do you know that feeling when nothing exciting is going on in your life? Like, life isn't bad, but also not particularly fun. Well, have you tried visiting a circus? Huh? Well, perhaps you could find something fun there. I'm not into the whole circus thing. Clowns scare me. I always think they have ulterior motives. The way they look at me with their empty eyes and wide smiles. Ugh, scary. Oh, but apart from that, I'm trying. I tried singing, but what is singing if not telling a tale? How can I sing of things if I never lived through anything? What do you mean? Well, day in, day out, I live the same green soup of routines. Sure, I have my forest and I look after it, but I want to get out of there and see something. Like, for example, listen to this song I started writing. I wish to be a hero, slaying mighty drakes. I wish to meet a pretty nymph, resting by the lakes. A pretty nymph? That sounds pretty daring. Of course it is. That's the point. Finding them enjoying themselves in the water. The sun shining through the treetops, making the steam glisten in fragmented light. Ah, a divine beauty indeed. I would love to sing about the exciting, magical things I encounter. But to be honest, the most exciting thing in my life is coming to your tavern and discovering new drinks. Not a lot of songs you can write about that now. I wouldn't mind a jingle. Oh, I'll think of one. Can I mention nymphs? I'd prefer if you didn't. Oh, okay. Maybe one day I'll get to offer them their own jingle. In the meantime, can I offer you a drink? Ah, yes. I'd love a drink. The usual? Yes, please. That means a swift strike, in case you forgot. Thank you for the reminder, Fable. It is my favorite. It always makes me feel like a featherlight nymph floating on the waves of a summery lake. Do you want to be with a nymph or be the nymph? Huh. Both? Perhaps both. But mostly I want a swift strike. Message received. Although, I was wondering, I've been coming to your tavern for so long, and I still don't know anything about how you make your drinks. Could you show me? Yes. Oh. Really? Yes. What should I do? Do I need to put on an apron? Or summon a familiar? How do I summon a familiar? Just follow me. You'll be just fine, Fable. Welcome to my drink mixing nook. So, this is what it looks like back here. Hello, Undo. Careful, I haven't fed him yet. Where do we start? Well, I usually start by figuring out what my patrons want. To make sure I don't forget what they ordered, I take notes in my journal. Let's have a look. Oh, you binned my order. I did. If I wanted to look for the specifics, I can check my detailed notes. I do keep a log, just in case. When I'm sure I know what it was asked of me, I browse my recipes. Can't you just freehand mix something and see what sticks? No. I like to mix and match for a more varied result, but the right balance is crucial. So I stick to my recipes. When I've settled on one, I can use the chalk to draw it on the chalkboard. And what if you pick the wrong one? Well, I can either erase it with a sponge or just pick a different recipe. My ingredients are stored in the 5 bottles on the right. There's dexterity, intelligence, defense, strength, and charisma. Oh, I think dexterity sounds the tastiest. I had a feeling you might say that. If I mess up or want to redo my drink for any other reason, I can simply feed my mistakes to Undo. And once I'm done, I ring the bell to activate the primordial vortex. Actually, I don't need to bore you with the magical details. Just try making a drink. You've got this. Alright, so, I'm on controller now, so my knowledge is going to be different, but we have to make a swift strike, which we do that to draw the recipe. There's our little crystal recipe, and then we do speed. 1, 2, 3. Put it back, and then we do 1 of these. Put it back, and 1 defense. And we have a swift strike. Let's ring that bell. If I can figure out how to... Nope. Nope. Oh. There we go. Got that Steam achievement. Oh, wow. It actually does teleport. Of course it does. What did you think was happening? I thought you were just very good at sleight of hand. I see. Well, give your creation a taste. That is delicious. I made that. You made that. Thank you for showing me the ropes. Well, thank you for your enthusiasm. These adventures you dream of, aren't you scared they'd be the end of you? Maybe, but how would I know if I never try? Do you actually want to try? Well, yes, I want to tell great stories, but what? Never mind. Oh, hello. And how can I help you? A drink. For you? Right. What kind? Drinkable. Very specific. Thank you. How about a spoken heart? Some charisma couldn't hurt. Sure. Whatever. All right. Let's get that recipe. A spoken heart. Draw it on the board. Get that Riz. 1, 2, 3. Back on the table. Some strength. Because it takes strength to be charismatic and to be strong. Oop. Okay, that's correct. I wasn't sure. And some defense. You have to be well balanced to be charismatic. There you go. This should be digestible. Maybe even tasty. Thanks. Almost washes away the memories of that banshee hunting a lonesome lagoon at night. And her bone-shattering song of sorrow. Almost. All right, then. The brooding type, I see. What are you thinking about, Fable? Just dreams. Yours or someone else's? Mine. Other people seem to have the courage to follow theirs. Why can't I be like that? Isn't that up to you? I wish it was. My brother says my dreams are a fool's errand, that I'm running away from where I belong. We are rangers, Fable. We belong to the woods, like the stream that ripples down the mountain. Or the birds in the trees. We keep the balance. It's what we're meant to do. And is that what you want to do? Yes. No, not really. I want to experience things outside the safe borders of the forest. I want to live a life so full of adventure. Boredom will feel like bliss. I want to be brave and strong. And I want to sing songs about my adventure that make people yearn for the same freedom. Of course, I could never leave the Ashen Grove behind forever. It's my home. But there's nothing wrong with going away from time to time, right? I mean, my brother looks after the grove, as well as my sisters. I think it would be fine without me. Then you should do what your heart desires. Will it stop aching then? I think so. Yes. What if... It's wrong to leave, though. What if destiny is never meant for me to leave? And what if it did? That would be a dream come true. Be your own genie, Fable. Your adventures start with you. Oh, thank you, Innkeeper. You really are the most exciting part of my day. I think Fable's gonna do great. Oh, hello. Greetings, traveler. How may I help you? You own this establishment, Innkeep. Last time I checked. With whom do I have the pleasure? The name's Carolyn. You can call me Care, or Lynn. Couldn't care less. Nice to meet you, Care. Lynn? Oh, what can I do for you? Perhaps a drink or something? You do the thing with quests, right? So they say. Do you want one? You can have a look at the notice board. Ugh, no. No quest for me. But I may have one for you. Or your notice board. Tell me more. Heard of a wolf. A werewolf. Making trouble up in the Trigarin. I have to figure out how to say that word. Heard of a werewolf making trouble up in the Trigarin. Terrorizing farmers, tearing sheep apart. The whole program. Huh. A werewolf. That's news to me. Listen, me too. Didn't see one in almost a decade. That was far south in Arave. Been wondering if it's the same one or just moving up like a nomad. I thought the werewolf hype died along with that one romance novel. Ugh. You mean the one with the vampires? Think so. Nah, that just split society into two camps. Team werewolf or team vampire. Which one are you, Innkeep? I gotta go with my real gut instinct, which is team vampire, because if we're talking about the Apple book, I should say, the one character is like actually the worst. I mean, they're both the worst, but we gotta go with the classic. Ah, so you're into the fangs, are you? An innkeeper never tells. You real little rascal. I like you. Likewise. What about you? Vampires. Why? The wolves are too close to my kin. And yeah, I'd rather stay away from them. Ah, is that why you don't want to take care of the werewolf for yourself? Yeah. No. I'm just afraid he might look a little too much like my Uncle Dragon. Will feel bad slaying the fella. You know, hunched back, hairy, crooked teeth. Is that a werewolf or just Uncle Dragon? You can't tell. Same fate befell Aunt Olga. I'm sorry to hear that. Nah, the hag had it coming. Never fall behind on your grooming schedule, or before you know it, the next wannabe Van Helsing will strike you down with a silver arrow. Do the Van Helsings also hunt werewolves? I don't know. don't care enough to check. Either way, that's Southern Werewolf. Yeah. Right. Anything else might help others get done. That might help others get done with that rather swiftly. Fetch. Pardon me. Should they get into a dangerous situation, they'll just have to start playing fetch. That works on any dog. Trust me. Good to know. Thanks, Carolyn. It's not that hard. Either Carolyn, Care, or Lynn. All right. Gotcha, Carolyn. All right, Chief. You got a name, or is it just Inkeep? Just Inkeep for now. Playing hard to get, I see. Well, Inkeep, then before I venture on, you got a drink for me? Of course. What would you like? I'll take something powerful. Something with a whole lot of strength. And don't you dare give me any of that watered-down muck instead. Okay. One of our strongest strong drinks would be this one. Southern Brawler. These are for people going into a fight. But I thought Carolyn said that they weren't gonna fight the werewolf. Why do they need a strength drink? I mean, I'm not here to judge your order of drink, but I feel like you might want something more apt for negotiation. But anyway, this should do. Order up. A drink with 0 water, as requested. Not bad. Just what I was craving. Thanks. Where will you head from here? Perhaps back west through the Ashen Grove? Got some business to take care of. What kind of business? Personal business. Care to elaborate? No. But you won't stop asking till I do, will ya? No. My cousin claims her crops are being stolen by undead snails. Obviously, I'm pretty sure she's hallucinated. But I did hear some folks complaining about an undead uptick in the west, so might as well humor her. And make sure she hasn't turned into an undead snail herself. Something like that. Yeah. It's odd, ain't it? Resurrecting the dead? It's certainly unconventional. Well, that's one way to put it. I think there's not much use in digging up the past. It's just gonna open up wounds you stapled shut. Or eat your face. The past taunts everyone willing to listen. Would you mind talking like a normal person? I ain't exactly for philosophizing. You started this conversation. And I'm ending it. Alright, well then. If you find any more rumors or need aid, don't shy away from coming back. I'm more of a lone wolf. Don't do groups. But sure. For me, for more work, I'll be back. I'll be waiting. Speaking of rumors, you heard how to turn them into proper quests, right? Don't want them to go to waste. I could use some help. Fine, I guess I've got a few minutes. Let me see your setup. Alright, this is where I sort all the rumors I've collected. I also keep them written down in my journal, so I don't forget. Just like myself, it's a pile of random scraps of paper. Probably napkins from bar drinks. Smart. Think the next best step would be sorting the matching snippets on your quest page. Just drag them over and make sure they are all for the same quest. Otherwise, you'll end up confusing adventurers. Once you're done, select that quill of yours and it'll be written up. Got it? Got it. Thank you for your help, Kellen. Put it on my tab. That's not how that works. Oh, good night to you too. Alright then, let's assemble this quest. Boop. 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 And I think we're doing the werewolf quest, so it's these. Nope. Go back. And there you go. Quest complete. Oh, I didn't read that. Whoops. We'll go back to the quest board and read it. Undo. Little baby. Act 1, The Wayfarer's Inn. 2, Prelude to Bravery, 58th of the Wake. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Let me look at the quest board quite quickly. A recent Vukakin passed by the Wayfarer's Inn, reporting a werewolf making their way up to Traegerin from Ereve. They pose a potential threat to both helpless sheep and villagers. Apparently the werewolves love playing fetch. Are you brave enough to take on this quest and save Traegerin from the werewolf mayhem? Alright. Oh! Well, what do you have there, Fable? I found this on your notice board. It says a werewolf is terrorizing Traegerin. Is that true? It is indeed. Have you sent anyone after it yet? Maybe that hooded guy from yesterday? Not yet. What kind of hero are you, looking for? Well, one who knows their way around difficult terrain, woods even. Preferably one who's good with a bow. One who tells me they want the quest. I am good with a bow. Yes, Fable. And I know my way around any woods. I know Fable. And maybe I want the quest. Just maybe. No, not just maybe. Since yesterday, all I've been able to think about is you telling me to follow my heart. And then I step into your tavern and the quest practically jumps out at me, and I think, hey, there's a start for an adventure. It's near a forest. You know forests. You live in a forest. And werewolves are basically normal wolves, but slightly scarier because they are also human. But you've talked to humans before. And you got silver arrows for your birthday last year, and they're just collecting dust in your room. And I thought I could ask you if anyone had taken it yet. And then I didn't think that far ahead. I see. Or rather, I did, but then I thought, what if I take the quest? Then I have to go on the quest. And I have to fight the werewolf, or talk to the werewolf, which is worse. Because what if the werewolf doesn't like me? And then what if I try to shoot it with my silver arrow? And I miss and shoot a tree instead, and the tree would be mad at me. But it wouldn't really matter because I'd be dead. Because of the werewolf. That took a quick turn. So maybe I should put the quest back. Fable? Yes? Do you want me to tell you to take the quest? Maybe. I can't make this decision for you. Well, neither can I. Whenever I have to make a difficult decision, it's like I freeze in place. And suddenly I'm unable to move until someone makes the decision for me. Like a slime. A frozen slime. A frozen slime that can't move. I think I've met slimes less anxious than you. You've met slimes? My tavern is open to everyone. Oh, right. What do slimes drink? Water. More slime. Bones. You sell bones? Only to slimes. Maybe you'll be able to add my bones to your menu soon. You'll just have to pick them up off the forest floor. I think I'd have a hard time coming up with convincing a werewolf to give up free bones. Why are you so anxious, Fable? In general, I think answering that would take more time than we have to spare. About taking the quest, it seems to me like you want to take it, but you're trying to talk yourself out of it instead. Oh, well, I do want to go on that quest. Werewolves may not be the best muses, but it would make a good start for a song, right? Prelude of an epic. Fable, the protector of the woods, the world, the worms. The worms? Well, they seem like they need protecting. But every time I think about embarking on the quest, and I start to think more deeply about what might happen, all of my bones start to shake and I feel dizzy. Is something making you feel like you might fail? Oh, aside from the bloodthirsty werewolf, we don't know what it's thirsty for. It might prefer orange juice. It might. Oh, well, heroes have a history, right? Great feats that they can look back upon to prove their bravery. Inspirational adventures that remind them of the light in the dark. I have the opposite of that. Great mistakes and epic regrets. Like the Morgan incident, or my first encounter with the Amaranthine Hydra, or the reason why no one wants to spend time with me. The Mary Morgan incident? Yes, the Mary Morgan incident. Didn't you hear about that? Oh, thank Gaia word didn't get around. It was my very first adventure. The chance to finally escape from the daily grind. What happened? An adventuring party was on their way, passing through the Ashen Grove. Due to the Sylvan spirits getting fairly foggy at night, and the fog bears great danger to anyone who isn't acquainted with the spirits who call it home. So they wanted guidance from a local ranger. A merchant up in Tragan recommended me. I agreed to help, of course. My first adventure, yay! I was so excited, but also very nervous. So, of course, it had to go wrong. I think it was the nerves. Why were you so nervous? New people! Seasoned adventurers! One stronger than the next, all in shining armor and armed to the teeth. I wanted to leave a good impression, but my bad luck got in the way. How did it go wrong? I felt their condescending glares on my back as I walked them through the woods. Of course, I didn't know whether they were actually glaring, but my fear got a hold of me and I led them astray. I must have blacked out. I had never gotten lost in the woods before, but this time I did. I couldn't see well. There was blood rushing in my ears, and I felt dizzy. So, for some stupid reason, I led them along a path no one should ever take. Past the riverbanks of the Shire Mare, home to the Mary Morgan. You know of the Mary Morgan, yes? The wrathful spirit that's known to drown men. Not sure if she really differentiates between genders, though. For some reason, I led them right into her arms. I got scared, and in the end, they had to save me. They fought the creature, and we finally found a way out when dawn broke. And then the fog ebbed away. I couldn't look at them for the rest of the journey. And I silently bid my farewells when we reached the other side of the Ashen Grove. I was too embarrassed to speak. I'm sure I'm still the laughingstock of every one of the gatherings. How am I ever supposed to set foot in the adventuring world again? To be fair, it could have been worse. I could have led them right into the arms of the Wyvern chimera that resides in the Quagman Grove. Oh, they say it has a taste for adventurers. But you didn't. But I didn't. And your first encounter with the Hydra? Well, just a day after it arrived to guard the portal to the Dream Plane Avalon, I wanted to be polite and neighborly, so I brought it some homemade biscuits. I burned them a little in the oven. But I thought since it has fire breath, it wouldn't mind. So I approached the Amaranthine Hydra. And I have this whole speech prepared about how I'm looking forward to having it around. And how its green scales match my hat. But it was so tall and intimidating. I forgot all about what I wanted to say. So I just set down the biscuits and smiled awkwardly. It looked at my biscuits and then at me and said, "By the rivers of the stars stands a man who reads the firmament's past. Some things are as sturdy as gilded ice. Some things are as changing as the Leviathan sea. All chimeras hate mice. All hydras love tea." I thought to myself, wow, the Amaranthine Hydra has given me a riddle. A quest. Maybe this shall be my first adventure. But I couldn't figure out the answer, so I left. And I tried to solve the riddle for 3 days. I was too ashamed to step foot of it in front of it again, lest I know I was not worthy of its riddle. But then I couldn't take it anymore, and I ran back, apologized, and begged for the answer. Turns out that's just how it speaks. It wanted some tea. Well, did you get it some? Yes. Then you completed its quest. 3 days late? If it had needed an antidote, it would have died. Would-haves are about as useful as an antidote when you haven't been poisoned. They change nothing. I suppose you have a point. Alright, let's get to the meat of the matter. Why do you think no one wants to spend time with you? Oh, because I'm unlucky! I'm unlucky whenever good things are supposed to happen, I ruin them. No matter how easy things might be, nothing seems easy enough for me. Imagine there's one nail sticking out in the whole kingdom. Everyone would pass by it except for me. I'd get caught on it and rip my coat. Did that happen once? Once? I wish it had only been once. It seems like my life only follows the path that's the most embarrassing. Or dangerous. Or dangerously embarrassing. The curse of ill luck follows me wherever I go. Like an adventuring companion who secretly wants to kill you. No one wants to hang out with someone who naturally attracts bad things. You're too harsh on yourself, Fable. Am I? See, just last week, I wanted to gather fresh flowers. The daffodils are blooming and they make for a nice bouquet, you know? Or hair accessories. They always calm my anxiety when I have them around. But being me, I confuse them with their evil twin. The weeping amarylls. Now, guess what I spent the whole day after doing? Weeping? Like a babe. All day long. When I plucked them, they released their spores, and I started crying. I suddenly felt all of the sadness of the world rush over me. I'd never been so heartbroken. I'm sorry. That sounds horrible, Fable. It was. Between the tears and the sobs, I managed to make a tincture out of hogweed. It eased the pain, but the tears wouldn't stop until dawn. I'm so silly sometimes. There's nothing wrong with picking flowers. There is if they're the wrong flowers. Imagine if I had offered them to adventurers, or even worse, the Hydra. That would have been so embarrassing. I don't think gifting others flowers to make them a little happier is embarrassing. And it would have made for a good story to laugh about later. I don't think they would have laughed about it with me. More at me. Maybe they would laugh with you, if you chose not to run away. You seem to assign a cruel sense of humor to people that haven't actually shown you such a thing yet. Not everyone thinks about you the way you think about yourself. Oh, that would be nice. Innkeeper? Yes? Do you like spending time with me? Yes, Fable, I do. Really? Of course. Seeing your face in my tavern brightens even the cloudiest of days. Please never stop coming around. I won't. You make me feel a lot less alone. Thank you. That's because you're not alone. Not as long as my tavern and I are here. You better not go anywhere. Not planning on it. Anyhow, you seem to be very insecure. I think that's the biggest problem here. But how can I not be? With everything I touch, when everything I touch falls apart. You know that's not true. You're right. I'm a great gardener. Everything grows around me, but I just seem to get smaller. Except zucchinis. I can't figure out how to grow those. So I suppose in a way, I'm like a zucchini. I'm insecure because I don't know what I'm capable of. You'll have to find that out then. Like on a quest? For example. Don't you think I'm a bit underleveled? Do you think that will change by sitting around? I suppose not. Someone has to help those people, right? What if I don't, and then no one else comes around? What if I'm the only chance they've got? But what if I'm not? What if there's someone better? And the best thing you can try to do is help them. So what if another adventurer swings by? And they're able to make the situation better? Isn't that a good thing? 4 hands are better than 2. And who knows? You might even end up forming a party. Oh. And besides, if it's a perfect hero they want, they'll be waiting forever. I didn't think about it like that. Maybe I shouldn't have decided to give up before I even try. After all, I am a very fast runner. So if I screw up, I can just run away real quick. That's the spirit. Okay. I, Fable, a great gardener and a future hero, charmer of nymphs, am going to embark on this quest and save the villagers. And I shall return victorious. Did I do it right? Yes, good job. I leave the quest in your capable hands, brave adventurer. Would you like a drink to aid you on your journey? Ah, yes. Do you have something that can make me more nimble and quiet, so that the werewolf won't see me coming? Oh, something with a lot of dexterity. If I want to fight it, I'm going to need that surprise round advantage. Or maybe something can help me with diplomacy. Perhaps it's just a hungry lost Lycanaf, after all, and it only needs a pep talk and a hug. Maybe we could even be friends. I will leave the choice up to you. Just make sure you don't pick a random recipe. Please keep it to one of the abilities I asked for. Remember, your choice can influence my fate. It could change the entire outcome of this quest. But, of course, I'm sure you're already aware of that. Sorry for backseat mixing. Potions, baby. No. Oh, okay, so we have a map. The Republic of Phaeosa is Phaeosa's primary nation. It is geographically and culturally divided by the large mountain range of Dolvamir, stretching over a significant portion of the continent. The Republic's western side is so expansive it is divided into a northern and southern half. The Northern Republic is full of lush forests and mangroves. Coastal cities are important trading hubs for the islands to the west, like Dira and Highlands. Even further north are the fearsome mountains, giant and fairly dangerous mountain range to explore, partially due to the semi-regular volcanic activity. Okay. The Wayfarer's Inn stands atop a hill overlooking the bustling town of Zenith. Because of the vantage point, you can even see the capital Themis in the distance when you look out the tavern's main window. The cozy tavern welcomes the travelers and locals alike, offers some well-deserved rest from the hectic life of adventuring. Along with said rest comes magical drinks, which can enhance the abilities of young and old heroes alike, allowing them to master any quest with ease. Despite its great reputation, the tavern has remained a small affair, making it a comfortable spot to ruminate on your worries. I also heard the innkeeper is a cutie, which is a big plus. Thanks. Zenith is the town that the tavern belongs to. It's Zenith, although technically it's on a crossroad hill right beside it. Zenith itself is a small but warm and welcoming town. It has a quaint marketplace, a small guild house, and a beautiful Gaia temple. Close by is the Crystal Lake, which delivers high-quality drinking water from the mountains. A lot of people pass through here on their quests for adventure, trade, or purpose. In Zenith, friendships are forged, alliances are sealed, and destinies begun. It's the perfect place for a friendly little tavern. Traegerin has a very unique charm to it. With expansive fields of wheat that sway in the gentle breeze all around the town, the fields yield so much harvest that some of it is exported to cities beyond, even up to the capital. Its pumpkins are quite popular too. In addition to various plants, there is also an abundance of farm animals around, like sheep, cows, and chickens. Amidst the idyllic scenery, the entire town looks optimistically into the future, knowing together they can overcome any and all problems that might be ahead their way. The Ashen Grove is the largest forest on the entire continent. It's a magical forest with a mysterious fog that shrouds the woods as the sun vanishes from the horizon. No one really knows why said fog calls the Ashen Grove home, Many attribute it to the sylvan spirits in the Vale to the spirit realm, being especially thin at night. A clan of elves watches over the Ashen Grove, each of them guarding certain parts of the forest. Since they know the forest intimately, they also ensure that no one has to walk through it alone. The shore on the west of the forest is called the Aqwah Mangrove, a dangerous place even most of the elves avoid. Rumor has it there are some gruesome, brutal beasts live there. We're reporting. Okay, so that's just the quest on the map. Cool. Oh, so I can read everything here. Can I? No, I can read everything in these zones. We don't know anything about Forbidden Valley and Say Plains. Alright, well, let's get to learn a little more about where we are. Windmoor, along the coastline lies Windmoor, which is constantly embraced by a gentle breeze. Windmills adorn the skyline, grinding more grain than any other city on the continent. Windmoor has an exclusive deal with the capital to send their grain through the Pale Woods and straight to the capital. It's a haven for every windmill enthusiast or folks who love freshly baked bread. The laughter of locals and the marketplace or harbor is carried by the coastal breeze, creating a distinct feeling of home. In between the villages on the western coast of the Republic lie the Pale Woods, an extensive forest land stretching all the way towards the fields in front of the capital. Birch trees standing tall and slender, their pale trunks shimmering in the sunlight. Back in the day, the Pale Woods were a lot bigger, but many trees were cut down for building and crafting over time. Only one big road was built through the forest, to form a connection to the various villages and the capital. While the main road exudes calm feeling during the day, the deeper parts of the woods still give travelers the eerie instinct to stay out of the labyrinthian forest. Themis, the capital of the Republic, lies at the heart of the realm. This majestic city has unique architectural style with several large houses, cathedrals, temples, an enormous clock tower at the central plaza. The capital was built around the roots of the Aether Tree that are visible at the alleged very center of Gaia. Parts of the city were built entirely into the Holy Tree, though some of the roots remain untouched due to their toughness, and the people's general unwillingness to permanently destroy any parts of the Holy Sanctuary. The mood of Themis is a diverse mix of cultures, traders, scholars, and craftspeople. My cat said hello. Erove is located at the foothills before the imposing mountain range Royaliths. Its architecture gives off a rustic charm. The city is big enough to stretch all the way down to the bay, which is a big visual contrast to the hills and rocks further up the southern mountains. The town's vibe in keeping with the rest of the land. Its markets are adorned with local crafts, taverns full of laughter and tales of adventurers, and streets bustling with the energy of those who call these lands their home. There are rumors that Erove might sit upon an area with unusual magical energies, leading to the belief that creatures are naturally attracted to it, such as werewolves and fairies. Huh, okay. Oh, there's an overview. Okay. The Moon Swamp is the area connected to the Dark Marsh, more swamps. Its name comes from a mythical area within the Moon Swamp where, allegedly, all 7 moons reflected in a pool of clear water at once. Wait, there's 7 moons? We have 7 moons? These moon pools are a place only few have seen, and its physical rather than metaphorical reality is a highly contentious topic. The swamp is very tricky to traverse since even during the daytime it's entirely covered with a thick fog, only getting worse with bad weather. While the moon swamp is beautiful, at times many adventurers do not venture far into it, valuing their safety over a thorough tour. In stark contrast to the pale woods, the dark wood thicket is a looming, mysterious woodland area shrouded in, you guessed it, fog. The woods resonate with eerie stillness, broken only by the occasional haunting calls of nocturnal creatures. The air carries a sense of foreboding towards the moon swamp waiting further south. As daylight struggles to reach through the thick flora, the atmosphere becomes creepy and sinister. Despite appearances, it seems that no real danger comes from the thicket, which is why the Republic leaves it as a natural border between the fields close to the capital in the north and the far more dangerous moon swamp in the south. The dark marsh unfolds across the landscape as a menacing area in constant twilight. The murky waters inside the moon swamp send shivers down the spine of anyone who would dare make it this far. Navigating its waterways require constant caution, for the mist creates illusions that distort reality and guide travelers into the murky depths, never to be seen again. Somehow, nights in the dark marsh are far more tenebrous than anywhere else. Perhaps it is because the moon pools are calming so much of the iridescence for themselves. Perhaps it's because the moon pools are claiming so much more of the iridescence for themselves. Could this be due to the portal to the Twilight Chasm, rumored to have opened within them 3 decades ago? The Nightmare Realm would probably be ravenous for light. Ooh. Danger. Marrow Castle is an old, impressive castle atop the rocks of the Witch Wraith Peak, a section of Royalthis mountain range. Its mist-cloaked silhouette gives every adventurer an unsettled feeling, especially in combination with the countless vampiric myths surrounding its doorstep. Rumors tell about vampiric nobility calling the castle their own, and many attribute the morbid decorations of its surroundings to these mysterious and possibly ancient inhabitants. I gotta read the overview for the Southern Republic. The southern part of the Republic sprouts numerous fields and forests as well. Its many towns and cities are connected by the many roads travelers use on a daily basis. You will also find the Republic's heart and capital, Themis, here. Politically speaking, the Republic is still in its early stages of development, as it only just restructured itself into a republic a couple of decades ago. But at the very least, it has managed to keep its capital consistent since then. The Southern Republic. What about the Northern Republic? The Republic of Phaeosia is Phaeosia's primary nation. It is geographically and culturally divided by the large mountain range of Dolvamir, stretching over a significant portion of the continent. The Republic's western side is so expansive, it's divided into a northern and southern half. The Northern Republic is full of lush forests and mangroves. Coastal cities are important trading hubs for the islands in the west, like Dira and Highlands. Even further north are the Fearsome Mountains, a giant and fairly dangerous mountain range to explore, partly due to the semi-regular volcanic activity. Oh no, we can see everything. Okay. There's gonna be a lot of reading, friends. This whole thing's gonna be a lot of reading, friends, so hunker in. Grab some tea. Grab some coffee. Get your work ready. This is a great playthrough to hang out and get some work done too. And, have a story read to you. Mossbury. In the southern island of Mossbury is an actual peninsula the southern island of Mossbury is an actual peninsula, but due to the sea levels, this can only be seen a few times per year. Because of the strong tides, the coast on the southern and eastern side of the peninsula changes drastically. Due to this peculiar arrangement, the coast is full of mud and shallow bodies of water with tidal flats and wetlands. The sea around Mossbury is called the Great Water Highway since it connects to a nation farther away to the southeast, called Vielos. Vielos is the most important trading partner of the Republic. Apart from trading knowledge about astronomy, mathematicians and alchemy is shared in detail between the two nations. Underwater. In the northern Mossbury region, just south of the Moon Swamp, lies Underwater, a coastal city where the entire lives of its people are dictated by the ebb and flow of tides. During the peak of high tide, the town's lower roads become submerged, transforming them into canals, navigable only by boats. As the tides recede, the submerged streets re-emerge, revealing a glimpse of the marine life existing within the whims of the ocean. Underwater is a city that blurs the line between the sea with each tidal change and stands as a proud monument to the coexistence of modern society and nature's flux. The city of Borkum is a port city, a haven for wanderers and retired adventurers seeking rest. Its climate is pleasant and warm, with only the strong coastal tides creating occasional difficulties. Fishermen tell stories of their catches, while travelers in busy taverns swap tales of all the adventures they had in times past. The city's harbor is full of life. As boats venture forth to explore the coastline and the nation of Vielos in the far east, all in all, the city is much calmer in comparison to the port of Zoford, and because of this tranquility, many adventurers decide to spend their final chapters in Borkum. The Wadden Sea, near Borkum, is a very popular vacation spot, especially for retired adventurers. The coast has a unique atmosphere, depending on the ocean's tides. During low tide, the sea reveals a network of sandbanks and tidal creeks. Due to these tidal motions, the coast looks different every year, and slowly but surely changes more over time. Mud is pretty much everywhere, and there are public mud baths for spa treatments available in some villages on the coast. The Wadden Sea is known for its rich flora and fauna, especially birds, ducks, geese, seals, and even flamingos. Lately, many shrimps can be found in this area, much to everyone's amusement. Shrimp! Love shrimp! The eastern part of the Republic is full of impressive plains and prairies. It's connected to the western half by the Silver Pass, reaching across the southeast to the big harbor city of Zoford. The inner parts of the plains have only a few small villages and travelers' outposts compared to the edge, which is full of petite towns and coastal cities. The plains have many fascinating fauna to speak of. Some animals are trained by locals, and some bigger ones are even used as mounts. Many people living in the prairie are mercenaries by trade. They offer armed escorts through the plains, assistance for inexperienced adventurers, and they have open partnerships with several adventuring guilds. Rumor has it, some mercenaries are even bounty hunters. Demail. Demail. On the east side of the Say Plains lies Demail, a vibrant hub where commerce is combined with textile craftsmanship. When merchants come through the Silver Pass from the western part of the nation across the Say Plains, Demail is usually the first stop before moving towards Zoford. Demail is well protected by local Sayan mercenaries, making sure even hectic days run smoothly. There's a special peacekeeping mercenary team called Ibex Group, which is in contact with the authorities in Zoford. The name comes from their founder, Ibach, who helped clear the main roads for travelers for years to ensure safe travels. The Gravemalloch Mountains look like very sharp, pointy rocks jutting out of the ground like spears being thrust into the earth. The mountains mark the northern edge of the Say Plains and block the further north into the Forbidden Valley, like a natural gate. The Gravelmock lies completely barren and desolate, lifeless and silent. No flora can be seen upon the rocks, no fauna moving in its terrain. Despite all of this, some may find the Gravelmock tranquil. Not terrifying, but instead rather calm and relaxing, in its own eerie way. The Silver Pass is the most important road in the entire Republic. It connects the west and eastern halves via paths traveling straight through the Dolvamere mountain range. The Silver Pass is the best and only reliable way to connect both sides of the continent, which is why the Republic spares no expense to ensure that the pass is as secure as possible. Nearby, deeper into the Dolvamere Mountains, lie the Scarlet Caves, which are so dangerous that only mining experts, like dwarves, are permitted to enter. Situated majestically within the eastern end of Freogia, Zoford thrives as an impressive harbor city. It boasts the biggest port in the entire Republic, putting even Dirian ports to shame. Behind this port lies Lake Zoford, a beautiful sanctuary connected to a wide open river that flows into the Promising Bay, as the locals like to call it. Zoford is a trade hub between the Republic of Phaeogia and the nation of Velos in the Far East, and is quite popular around wizards and other mages. Okay, we gotta do the Forbidden Valley. The Forbidden Valley is a beautiful, terrifying landscape to the very northeast of Phaeogia. As it's nearly untouched by people, its stunning nature, lush with megafauna and flora, is in full deadly display. Due to its unique ecological conditions and strange natural magic, its environment is incredibly difficult for any mortals to thrive and survive in. Hence, most humanoids you will find around the Forbidden Valley are either curious researchers, brave or foolish adventurers, and the disciples of Aperture, members of the Order of Starlight, who protect and inhabit the still young temple of the Astral Portal. On the way to enter the Forbidden Valley is through the pass from the Say Plains, going around the poisonous Dead Man's Lake. The Aperture is a dragon temple dedicated to the Lady of the Gilded Lake, and was built only a few decades ago. Within the jungle's verdant heart, Cassiopeia's temple stands like a gracious sentimental in an otherwise harsh and hostile environment. Guarded at its center is the only portal to the astral plane, the reason why Cassiopeia's worshippers have chosen this as their stronghold. Not much is known about this temple, since no one else lives in the Forbidden Valley. The Order of Starlight aren't exactly a talkative bunch either. A pity. The Rockwell Mountain Range is a section of Dolvamere where the appearance of large, inverted earthen scars rising into the sky is located north between the burning peaks of the Fearsome Mountains and the Forbidden Valley. It's because of this mountain range that the Forbidden Valley is only accessible from the south. Aqwah Outpost is the only settlement in the Forbidden Valley. Well, calling it a settlement would be too generous. It's more like a fortified camp. The outpost is named after Aqwah, the leader of the first expedition that successfully ventured into the Forbidden Valley. Or rather, the first group that went there and returned. The latter seems to be the more important part. The safest way to get to the Forbidden Valley, though safest still means horribly dangerous and not recommended unless absolutely necessary, is Aqwah's Passage on the east side of Gravelmock. However, one should be careful not to fall into Dead Man's Lake on the way, a large, sprawling open lake full of poisonous water. All right, we got one continent down. Let's go to the Highlands. The northern island of Phaeosia is known as the Highlands, is not part of the Republic of Phaeosia, though they are prominent trading partners. The Highlanders are on friendly terms with the Phaeosians, but they look down on the Dirians for giving up their sovereignty. Due to the White Mountains to the north part of the Highland, the north part of the Highlands is very difficult to traverse, but it makes for a great location for both survival training and sledding competitions. Even further to the north are several smaller islands in the cold and icy tundra. They form their own small nation called the Cridal Empire, and now gaze southwards, towards the highlands and their resources. Cloaked between several cliffs across the outspread woods on the eastern half of the island lies an old temple dedicated to the elder dragon While the temple is not yet abandoned, it is an ancient relic of eras gone by. Mossy statues of the ancient noble dragons guard the entrance to this majestic temple, and murals carved into its walls tell stories about legends of yore. It is well defended and not open to most travelers, sparking rumors of what might be hidden inside. Between the rugged landscape of the highlands, the city of Vakria is a prime example of resilience. Old stone walls surrounding the city protect the inhabitants from all the dangers they might face. With a reputation as strong and capable fighters, however, the people of Vakria don't really need any additional protection. In the fall, they celebrate the annual Glow Festival, a spectacle that transforms the city with warm and stunning colors. The streets full of lanterns flicker in the cold, late fall night. When it's very cold in the winter, during late spring and summer, the island gets surprisingly warm, to the point where, except up in the mountains, any ice and snow will melt away. Alright, we got some independent northerners who like to live in the snow, except it doesn't always snow. Diria, located on one of Phaeosia's northern islands, was once a small country of its own. When the kingdom of Phaeosia reshaped itself into a republic not too long ago, Diria joined forces with a new nation in a historic union. The Dirians are closely responsible for the maintained trade routes of the Phaeosian Sea, and pride themselves for their diplomatic accolades and beautiful landscapes. With its moderate climate and endlessly rolling fields, Diria makes for the ideal travel destination if you're looking for a low-risk adventure. Once, there were two cities on either side of the Big River, the Big River Delta. Over the years, they became one connected city, which is why nowadays they are called the Twin Borough. The Twin Borough is an important location for trade, full of market squares and many assorted wares from all over the continent. Trading guilds and taverns line the streets from the cliffs to the harbor. While both sides of the city maintain their own distant flair, the city's people feel deeply intertwined by the many bridges connecting their two halves. On the northeastern side of the island, the land reaches skyward with impressive peaks standing taller than any other mountain on the island. The locals call them the Sky Peaks because the mountaintops reach all the way to the sky. These colossal giants are full of lush fields of vegetation on the foothills. Yet, as one ascends, they grow thinner and thinner. Near the top, treacherous cliffs await adventurers, only allowing the experienced climbers to move forward. Viewing the sky from so high up is a sight to behold. Looking down on the land is possible to see the entire western coast of the mainland, even up to the capital and the Dovelmere mountain range behind it. Amasa is the second most important port city on the entire continent, and therefore stands as the capital of Tyria. At the heart of the city lies a great harbor where boats from all over the world are docked. Amasa is a diverse mix of many different cultures, with people from all over Asteria calling it home. Many sailors claim the best taverns for seafarers are located in Amasa. A sizable contrast to the hectic life in the city are the outskirts, which are full of farmlands, crops, and cattle. Boreas is an island group to the west of Phaeosia. Because of the Great Western Stream, this area is incredibly hot and humid. Large forests with immensely tall trees can be found all over these islands. This might make for a beautiful view, but also incredibly difficult traveling conditions. As such, no real permanent settlement has been built there yet. Currently, Tyria and the mainland are working together on exploring Boreas. During one of their expeditions, one of the islands snatched the nickname Severed Wilds due to its, wilderness. During Borean nights, one can occasionally see the sparkling auroras lighting up the night. There are few things more beautiful. Concealed within the deep forest of several of the Severed Wilds, the last Phaeosian expedition to explore the area found the entrance to an old, long-forgotten dragon temple. Much of it seemed to be underground, and the entrance collapsed so severely that the expedition team only recorded its location before immediately turning back onto their intended path. Academic rumors speak of an ancient age and alleged murals of the great sea serpent, the dragon Leviathan. However, they have yet to present any concrete proof of the true subject of the temple's devotion. It's also unknown who might have built this temple. Maybe the island was not devoid of civilization once, or maybe the temple was not built by humanoids at all. A future expedition may tell. Magical lake? ? Deep within the heart of the jungle, in a clearing of untamed wild magic, lies a strange, shining lake. The lake is beautiful, with iridescent flora, glowing water that mirrors the sky and stars above. A magical creature seems to call the center of these mystical energies home, manipulating the untamed magic of the jungle to live a peaceful life deep inside the forest. Not a single mainlander has ever visited the lake, though, so no one knows yet if these stories are true or not, or what lives in that mystical lake. Nestled deep within the southern island of Boreas, the Lonesome Lagoon is a mystery to most. Its waters shimmer with surreal light, creating an illusion of a swirl, a vortex, or perhaps a portal. There are stories about dangerous entities residing within the Lonesome Lagoon, which is why the handful of adventurers who have been to Boreas did not dare delve that deeply into its secrets. According to the stories of sailors passing by, you can sometimes hear a silent, haunting melody coming from the lagoon on nights where the water glows unnaturally, warning everyone who dares to enter. And last but not least, the Amber Isles. The Amber Isles are a group of islands to the south, below the Gulf of Fog. They consist of the islands of Dalwell, the Copper Archipelago, Morlia, and Niverdorf to the south. The climate on these islands is very warm, allowing for lush forests and spawning flower fields, not to mention gorgeous waterfalls. The title Amber Isles comes from their golden orange trees that reflect a warm, gentle light when approached from the horizon. The Copper Archipelago is quite a mysterious location. Since it borders the Sea of Fog, its islands are usually covered in dense fog. Shocking. Making travel extremely dangerous and inaccessible to most. This, along with changes in tides and winds, makes it difficult to escape once anyone has made it to their coasts. It seems to be full of the same orange and golden flora the other islands of the Amber Isles are, but because of the fog, their shimmer is usually more dull during sunsets. It's due to this muted phenomenon that the area received the name the Copper Archipelago. Though some people claim it's because of the large copper mines on the island instead. This is entirely untrue, and simply a hoax some city folks made up. Upon the secluded island of Morlia stands a mystical, enormous wizard tower that defies the bounds of conventional architecture. Its silhouette pierces the skies with an eerie elegance, almost looking like a beyond mortal construction. There are tales of a wizard residing in the wizard tower, which seem like a natural conclusion to draw. Few dare to tread upon Morlia's beaches, fearing to disturb the potential spellcaster. Maybe if they did, we'd actually know more about them. Since Dalwell was never officially conquered by the Republic, nor the Magocracy, they currently both strongly believe it to be their territory. This means they cannot agree on a name either, Dalwell or the Abandoned Isles. It's quite a heated topic of debate. Recently, various fey creatures have made their way through the Avalon portal on Dalwell and have found a home on its strange shores. To make things more complicated, they now also stake claim to Dalwell. Their settlement, called Fairweather, is built inside and around the Horizon Tree, a giant sequoia tree that the portal to Avalon had opened inside of. The southern island of Niverduth, for quite some time now, has been an alleged defensive military outpost of the Magocracy. Niverduth is not densely populated, with only a couple of military camps and forests occupying it. The Magocracy is located on a different continent in the tropical southwest. Over the centuries, they have expanded more and more towards Phaeosia, but are on neutral terms with the Republic, for now, despite the rumors of their High Council of Mages itching for expansion. Ooh, boy. And that is Phaeosia. So, that's the vibe of what's going on here. Let me check how long we've been going. Okay. So I think as far as today's episode, that's where we're going to start, because I have some thoughts about what's going on. So, let's chat. I wasn't sure if I was going to go to another screen or not, but let's keep it casual. Let's chat. So, now that we've learned about all of these, and that Fable has been waiting for their drink for like an hour at this point, they can continue to wait. Poor Fable. I am interested in some of the geopolitical issues here. Like, I feel like obviously the Amber Isles have something going on. This wizard tower, there's jokes that this is a military outpost, but Magocracy, mages. I feel like it's a mage military that's trying to take people out. That could be interesting to see. Another thing I'm picking up is there's a lot of notes about dragons. And every time we talk about dragons and dragon temples, it seems like dragons were previously revered as gods in some way or another. So I'm wondering if dragons at one point played a bigger role in society on this continent. and in this landmass. And for some reason, they are no longer around. So I'm kind of itching to figure out what that reason is. I have a feeling it could possibly have something to do with because in reality, the only other non-dragon worshippers we're hearing about that are independent from the Republic for the most part are those of this aperture. But it says the aperture is a dragon temple. But Cassiopeia's worshippers are here. Unless I'm mistaking something and Cassiopeia is a dragon. That could be the case. So maybe they're all dragons. Because I was wondering if possibly it could be like a deal where it's, you know, older gods that are fighting newer gods or new worshippers. And there's, you know, there's a challenge there that's going on. But if they're all dragons, my next order of operations is I'm not sure. But we have a portal, an astral portal. So that's one of them. I believe there was another portal. We've got a couple of portals for sure. We have an astral portal. We have a portal to Avalon. I think that's the portal there. We have a portal or portal-like thing in here in the Severed Wilds. And we have, is there another portal or portal-like thing here? And we have the Twin Burrow, which isn't really anything. I don't see anything that looks like it could be a portal in Diria. And not on the Highlands either. So these two are free of the portal check. No portals there. There was somewhere else. I thought there was one on Themis, but no. But also, if we're talking about an Aether tree, there's probably a portal in an Aether tree. We know how this goes, right? The Aether tree lore, Yggdrasil. There's probably a portal around there somewhere. So I would not be surprised if there's another one there. Yeah, so we have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 portals. Zoford. Promising Bay. Okay. Not really anything there. I don't think there was anything. No. Okay, so we have another portal. And that's in Moon Swamp. That goes to the Twilight Chasm. Avalon. The Aether Realm, I think. Aether Zone. Realm or Zone. But the Avalon, Aether, Twilight are the ones we've seen. Okay. Mossbury. There was nothing there. Nothing in the Southern Republic, so we're going to check the Northern Republic. That's our inn. That's our inn. That's where we live. Zenith does not have any specific portals. or secrets. Unless the Ashen Grove has one. Unless. I have a suspicion. Yeah, Veil to the Spirit Realm. That sounds like a portal. We have the Aether, the Spirit Realm, Twilight, and Avalon. So those are... there's Spirit Realm, Twilight, Avalon. So those are four terms that could be portals to other planes, zones. And that is what we have confirmed so far. Or at least have a strong theory on. As far as the specific quest, it is apparently one of those playing fetch. I'm just a little confused as to why there's Volcakin and werewolves in the lore. That's just not, that could just be me not understanding how like the fantasy element works completely. Because we got elves and we got like people and stuff. We have wolf people. We've only seen 2 people so far, so we can't make too many assessments yet based on that. I'm also trying not to take my knowledge from the demo. I did play the extended demo, which you can find the video of if you're really itching for more content. But there's already so much more context and information here that makes the theory crafting more interesting. But you might get spoiled if you watch that demo video. But I'm trying not to take that information of stuff I've seen into this. I'm going in like, this is new, which is why I read all of the lore, because that is new to me. This is stuff that I haven't seen. We didn't have a map during that. So I'm getting a lot of details there. According to the Amaranthine Hydra, a chimera's hatred for mice is a universal truth. Or maybe it just rhymed with ice. Who can say? Huh, okay. A banshee is haunting the lonesome lagoon, wailing at a song that will shatter your bones. Hopefully hyperbole. In the riverbanks of the Shivermire hides a Mary Morgan, a wrathful spirit prone to drowning men, women, and everything in between. So, the Banshee and the Mary Morgan could be the same thing. A wyvern chimera resides in the Quag Mangrove. Adventurers beware, you might be on its menu. Okay, so those 2. Good. An unusual amount of undead seem to be haunting the west. Undead snails are being accused of eating crops. This is apparently a problem. So we have Lonesome Lagoon and Quag Mangrove and something in the west. Alright, so do we have those available here? They're not listed as here, so they might be like micro locations. That's the one thing I would wish is if they're going to talk about these locations on the quests, I would like to know if they're on the map, just so that I can get a better, how should I put it, concept of where things are in relation to each other and what might be going on. Oh no, Lonesome Lagoon is on here. Okay. So Lonesome Lagoon and the Shivermire. Huh. So there's a connection between the Lonesome Lagoon and the Shivermire based on this quest information. And those are very separate. Because the Shivermire, I think, is in Moonswamp? No. We looked at it. I really want like a quick cue. Rockwell. Nope. Then Zenith, Dragon, Ashen Grove. I mean the Quag Mangrove. I think that's what they were talking about, right? Erobe, Moon Swamp, Dark Marsh, Dark Thicket, Marinaway Castle. Let's see, Borkin Underwater, Islands, Bacria, Boreas. Double checking. Yeah, so I think that's Shivermire is technically under the Ashen Grove, or is in the Quag Mangrove, right? Yeah. So then, here's my notes. In the riverbanks of the Shivermire hides Mary Morgan, Wrathful Spirit. Okay, so I'm just gonna assume what I can, which is that that's in the Ashen Forest, because that's where Fable was doing the quest. Which happier realms, hopefully hierarchy. So there's a Banshee in the Lonesome Lagoon. And there's a Mary Morgan in the Shivermire, which makes me think that those locations are connected somehow. So my guess, my theory, here's the theory crafting, is that the Ashen Grove and Boreas, the Lonesome Lagoon, have some sort of portal connection. Quote unquote spirit portal. Because these are two locations that have talked about ghosts so far. Haunting and ghosts. So these two, connection. Got it. I need my red string, really. Maybe I should make my thumbnail for these videos just a screenshot of this with like red string connecting all the locations. Boreas, Northern Republic, they have a connection. That's my fan theory so far, and I'm sticking to it. That's my game theory. Come on, where's the game theory episode on this? You got to get into the lore, man. We looked at the other notes, right? Mice. Oh no, the Chimera is in the Quag Mangrove, not the Shiver. Where's the Shivermire? Riverbanks of the Shivermire. Where is it? Where on the map is the Shivermire? Where am I forgetting? Zenith, Crystal Lake, Drinks. Yep. Tragan, Ashen Grove, Wildmoor, Breeze, Pale Woods, Themis, Darkwood Thicket. Nope. Dark Marsh. Yeah, I have no Nightmare Realm in the Dark Marsh. Yeah. Twilight Chasm or Nightmare Realm, so that's the discussion there. I might be just going blind and missing this information. But yeah, we're already getting notes about similar things in certain locations. So regardless of me not remembering where the Shivermire is, I believe that there is a tie between Boreas and wherever that Shivermire location is. If I can find it. So I think those are connected. We've got that down pat. I don't think there's any other quest information that I can really theorize on this episode. But let's get to learn a little bit about Fable and Carolyn. So they are an elf, 110, ranger, Ashen Grove, neutral good. The Hanged Man is their arcana. Fable Verafina is a ranger taking care of the Ashen Grove. They're a sweet and gentle soul and a regular at the Wayfarer's Inn. They dream about being an adventurer, but are troubled by severe anxiety about, well, everything. Really. And their nut allergy probably doesn't help either. So, I'm gonna bring up Google. I'm gonna bring up Google here. Pardon the music going off. Oh no, my notebook. I gotta bring it back up. So I'm looking up the meaning of the hanged man. A hanged man shows a man suspended from a T-shaped cross made of living wood. He's hanging upside down, viewing the world from a completely different perspective. And his facial expression is calm and serene, suggesting that he isn't in a hanging position by his own choice. He has a halo around his head, symbolizing new insight, awareness, and enlightenment. His right foot is bound to the tree, but his left foot remains free, bent at the knee and tucked in behind his right leg. His arms are bent with his hands held behind his back, forming an inverted triangle. The man is wearing red pants representing human passion and the physical body, and a blue vest for knowledge. The hanged man is the card of ultimate surrender, of being suspended in time and martyrdom, and sacrificed to the greater good. Fable. Don't do it, Fable. I don't like that. I don't like that ending. I don't like that. Damn it. Oh, no. Fable, no. The Chariot. The Chariot tarot card shows a brave warrior standing inside a chariot. He wears armor decorated with crescent moons, representing what is coming into being, a tunic with square, the strength of will, and other alchemical symbols, spiritual transformation. The laurel and star crown signals victory, success, and spiritual evolution. Although he appears to be driving the charioteer holds no reins. Just like a wand, the magician, symbolizing that he controls through the strength of his will and mind. The charioteer stands tall. There is no sitting down for this guy, as he's all about taking action and moving forward. Above his head is a canopy of 6 pointed stars, suggesting his connection to the celestial world and the divine will. In front of the vehicle sits a black and white sphinx, representing duality, positive and negative, and, at times, opposing forces. Note how the sphinxes are pulling in opposite directions, but the charioteer uses his willpower and sheer resolve to steer the chariot forward in the direction he wants. Behind the chariot flows a wide river, symbolic of the need to be in flow with the rhythm of life, while also charging ahead towards her goals and intentions. That checks out. That makes sense for Carolyn. Yeah, man, Fables Arcana got me messed up. Why are we having so many markers already? We're having danger markers for Fable, and I don't like that. I don't like that, devs. I don't like that. Why'd you do that? Why'd you introduce me to a character that's so sweet? And I want to cheer them on, and then do that. You do that to me in my tavern, at my bar, in this first episode, in my journal. How could you? Goodness. But it seems like we have a lot of options going forward. So, I need to find a time to save. And I don't know how to do that. I think that's here. All right. So let us save. We'll create a new save. And we'll create a few just because I'm crazy. And we'll go to the main menu. So, that was today's Tavern Talk. Keep in mind, the game just released. It released on the 20th, so congratulations on the release. This has been such a fun game to play through and talk about so far. Thank you for hanging out during the video, and we'll have a new one up as soon as I can get it out. And we'll keep on playing. Thanks so much. Bye.